Hi guys, it's the Reading Aardvark. I am coming to you today to just discuss my February TBR. So I've got my TBR cart. I'm gonna move my water. So I'm not participating in any readathons in February. I am not really. I'm just reading in February. I just got done with the House Cupathon. Yes, the House Cupathon. Well, when you see this video, I will have been done with it. It started at the beginning of January, it ends at the end of January on the 31st. Sadly, my team is probably going to end up in third place unless we pull through strong. I am currently rereading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So maybe, because you get it worth points, and she did 1,000. I was gonna say one of the persons in the Discord chat read it, I think, and it was like 1,000 pages, or she read a Stephen King book that was 1,000, and asked if she could get maybe extra points for it, because the top of it goes to 501 pages. I don't know if I would get it for this one, because technically it's only like 200 pages over 500. But the reason why I am rereading this right now, not only is Harry Potter my favorite, but I also haven't done a reread of Harry Potter in a couple of years. I think the last time I read it was probably like 5 years ago, which is kind of probably showing how not major, like, I know there's some people out there that reread it every single year, but I actually never owned a set of Harry Potter books. When I was a kid, I got them from the library. Basically, I started reading Harry Potter when the third book came out. I tried reading the first one. I wasn't too much of a reader. I didn't like it. And then in 5th grade, something just switched, and I loved reading. And so I picked it up, and I was just glad because by the time I finished the 6th book, the 7th book had just come out. And so I was super excited that happened. I didn't have to wait for the 7th book, so, but I'm rereading this one specifically. I reread the 3rd one last year, in October, because I am part of a organization where we do a camp out Harry Potter each year in our area, and last year was year 3, this year is year 4, so I'm rereading it. I also have decided that since I will never get rid of these books because I bought the whole set. I'm annotating it. I'm going through and annotating it, and I started the annotation process where different colors are different things. I will probably post a picture on my Instagram once I'm finally finished. I am pretty much just halfway through the book. Yeah, I'm on 403, which is a little bit more than halfway through the book, but I'm hoping to finish this by Friday so that I can get my team some more points. I also get more points because it is a Harry Potter themed read-along, or readathon, and so the buddy read is any Harry Potter book, so this will definitely give my team at least 150 points, hopefully. So I'm not going to pull us up in the first place, but I'll feel a little bit better. I set out an ambitious, or I did one for each challenge of the readathon, and the only book that I'm not getting to probably is Feeder. I still have hopes for it. It is a smaller book, so 50 points per challenge, so maybe it'll get me. But definitely going to at least finish this one. If I finish this one, then I've read all of the challenges, so that's great. I mean, I read more books that weren't part of the challenges because I do audiobooks on a lot of my sci-fi books, but hopefully, yes. So, Harry Potter, almost finished. If not, it'll be into my February. I'll finish it no matter what. I won't stop just because the readathon is over. But after that, I want to go into Feeder by Patrick Weeks. Basically, this is about Lori. She hunts monsters, but then so the feeders are basically, she has a handler, and they go after feeders, which are aliens. And, but when Lori finally touches one, the handler's impossible large jar appear and drag the beast into another dimension. So she touches the feeder and her handler makes them disappear. So basically she's doing this until a job goes wrong and she comes across a group of mutant teenagers, and it's the Lake Foundation now is hunting Lori. And if they find Lori, oh, she's protecting her brother. So basically she teams up with the group Nyx, and she is trying to take down this Lake Foundation. I picked it up on Book Outlet for $1. So I like the color, or not the color, sorry, the cover. So I'm kind of excited that I'm going to read this. The next book that I plan on reading is A Court of Frost and Starlight. Now I finished the first 3 books in the series in 2019. I decided to take a break, not because, sorry, my hair has its own and I got lip gloss on. Anyway, not because I was bored with the series, but I just felt like I had so much of information, I had so much of the story in my head that I felt like I needed a break. So definitely gonna pick this up in February. I think a month has been long enough. I know that there's supposed to be more coming out in the series, but I know her other book, another Sarah J. Maas book, is coming out, and I'm super excited about it because personally I think this whole entire series should have been bumped up into adult fantasy, but it wasn't. So I'm glad that her new book is going to be adult fantasy, so maybe we'll get a little bit more from it. But I do plan on, once I finish this, probably in a couple months, I'm going to go back and annotate the books, because I really like them. I don't want to get rid of them. I don't want to annotate a book when I first get it, because I'm afraid I won't like it. And if I don't like the book, I don't really have many friends that I can give the books to. So I don't want to annotate it and then not be able to sell it back. I mainly get most of my books from Half Price Books, and the way that I get so many of them is because I turn in books that I don't like. I have a bag that I fill up until it's full, and when it's full, I go to Half Price Books and buy myself some books. So basically, this is just a continuation of the story. There is a festival. It's the winter solstice. And so basically it kind of just sounds like a mini story. I don't know if it's going to be bringing in anything from the first 3 books, or if we're finally getting maybe, you know, when Disney does those like spin-off tales like Beauty and the Beast Christmas Story, things like that. If this is just like a mini story to kind of give us a little bit more about their lives. The next thing I will be reading, I don't know if I'm going to read these in this order, guys, but these hopefully kind of might read them in that way. I'm finally diving into Cinder. Ooh. Here you guys go. I know we got some people who like this. So as you can tell, I got it for $5 at Half Price Books. So I'm finally getting into the world of Cinder and the Lunar Chronicles. I have seen this book all around. I know it's really big in the fantasy world, and I'm excited. I do like retellings to a point. I don't want the retelling to basically just be the same. I don't want it to be a fan fiction, is really what it is. Sometimes I read retellings, and it really does feel like it's a fan fiction, and I'm not about that. I mean, I love fan fiction on a good rainy day. When I'm in a reading slump, I'll pull up fan fiction. But when I buy something, I don't want it to be that. And I'm hoping it's not. I mean, it doesn't, from what I've heard of it, it is not like that. But basically, this is Cinder. She's a 16-year-old. She is a gifted mechanic, and is a cyborg. So she's a second-class citizen, but her life gets intertwined with a handsome prince. She finally finds herself at the center of a struggle, forbidden attraction, and caught between duty and freedom. So out of all of the Disney princesses, I do love Cinderella the most, so that's why I think I will really like this. And I know that each of the books in the series is based on another princess story, kind of like that. Not princess, I think there's one about Red Riding Hood, but I'm just really hoping, I have high hopes for this. I know it's a great, most of the booktubers I've watched have given it good praise. I haven't watched too many about it, but what I have, it's been good, so I picked it up. So I'm on a goal to reread at least one of my favorite books as a child a month. I'm not a child. I mean, like I said, I didn't start reading until 5th or 6th grade, so kind of child, kind of not a child, but I actually read this one in high school. But that's my goal, is to reread some of the books that I thought were my favorite growing up, to see if they still are, and also to really understand why they're my favorite. I never really, so this one, I'll get more into it. So this one is Dr. Bird's Advice for Sad Poets by Evan Roskos. This is, if there's a different cover, this was an ARC given to me by my librarian. I used to be her student aide, and so when she'd go to book fairs, she actually would get me lots of books. And I'm kind of glad that this was an ARC, because when I went off to college, I did a very, very big unhauling of most of my books, and I kind of regret it. But things were moving around, people were moving into smaller spaces, and there just wasn't room for a lot of my books. I didn't want to carry them to school, or take them to my dorm room with me, and my mom didn't really have a place for them, so I basically got one tote of books. Also, they went under a trailer, so they got a little wet damage to them, so some of them I had to throw out because they had water damage. So I'm slowly rebuilding my library of books, but I also do believe in giving, or taking books back that you're not totally in love with, so I only try to keep books that I really love, that are 4 to 5 stars, maybe some 3 stars, but basically, this is about a boy who, and his family is a little dysfunctional. His sister Jody was kicked out of school and then out of the house, and the parents are acting like nothing's wrong, and so he has to try and figure it out with all of his family, and he doesn't really honestly know why his sister got kicked out, and he's lost. And so this was a really great book. I remember loving it so much. I don't remember too much about it. I just remembered loving it. So I really want to reread it and see if I still really just love it and what I did about it. So I'm going to annotate this because I can't sell this book. So I'm going to annotate this book, and I'm just going to get what I really liked about it. I don't know if it just hit me when I was in high school, and that's why I really loved the book. Maybe, hopefully, it might still resonate with me. So the next book in this is another part of a series, is Wildcard. So I did read Warcross, and I didn't absolutely fall in love with it. I gave it 4 stars, but I want to finish the story. I don't know if I'm going to keep them. I just know I want to finish the story. Warcross I thought it was something different when I started reading the book, so I don't know if maybe that's why part of it is, that's why I didn't like it as much. I thought it was in space for some reason. I'm not sure where I got that from, because it doesn't say that on the thing. So I don't know where I got the whole it's in space kind of thing, and I'm more of a sci-fi space, dystopian space. But I did like it enough to pick up the second book to read it. I don't think... I know she has another series, and she also has a book coming out soon too, in February. So I did pick up one of her Young Elite books, but I thought what I was getting was the first book, but it's actually, I think, the 3rd book. So I've got to find the first book before I get rid of the 3rd book, just to see if I like the series. But yeah, this is just a continuation. Warcross, definitely, if you are into dystopian and gaming, it's probably really good for you. I'm just not too much into the gaming world. I did love Ready Player One, but I don't know. I thought it was good, And honestly though, I'm not gonna lie, and I hope this doesn't keep giving me this, I really did get Ready Player One feelings from Warcross, and it just felt like a younger version of Ready Player One. So if you were like, should I read Warcross or Ready Player One, I would tell you Ready Player One. I thought it was a better book, but we're also not comparing books, because I don't like to compare books like that, because, you know, they're different writers, different styles. But if you liked Ready Player One, you might like Warcross. If you like Warcross, you might like Ready Player One. There's my first book connection, guys. Anyway, so I'm gonna give this a try, see if I like this series. If I do, I'll keep it. If I don't, I'm not gonna throw out her other series. I'm still gonna try and read her other stuff, because I kind of like her. I'm just not in love with her writing. So the next book I have is Sorcery of Thorns. Now, the funny thing about this is that I've got my markers in here, is that I got this in the Outcrate box, didn't know what the quote was from, saw that it was from this book, and I was like, oh, well, you know, because in the Outcrate boxes, I try to look at the different things. If I've never read them, I go look it up and see if I want to read them. But the funny thing is, I did not get this from Walmart. I am so bad. I'm not taking stickers off of any of my books. Okay, here you go. I got it started. Let's see if it'll come off. Oop. Okay, I can't do it up there, guys. I'm gonna have to take some alcohol to it. I'll get it off. I promise I won't leave the sticker on her face like that. Under her nose. That's a little funny, look at that. Anyway, so I was like, oh, I should go pick up this book. Well, I got my book outlet haul from Black Friday, and lo and behold, I had picked this book before I got the Outcrate box. So I thought it was a little funny. And also, I am doing a book club read in February by, why can't I remember her name? It's over on Instagram. I'll link it down below. I totally am blanking on her name right now, and I'm recording on my phone, so can't look it up. I have no idea what this book is about. I might have picked it up just because of the name, and the cover is giving me very fantasy vibes. But it looks like we're following Elizabeth. She was raised in a library. Ooh. So she's grown up among tools of sorcery, magical grimoires that whisper on the shelves and rattle beneath iron chains. So she wants to become a warden, which is protecting the kingdom from their power. Then something sabotages the release of the library's most dangerous grimoire. Elizabeth, desperate to intervention, implicates her in the crime. Oh, so now she is being blamed for the crime. So she is torn from her home to face justice. She meets a sorcerer named Nathaniel, who is her sworn enemy. She finds herself entangled in centuries of old conspiracy. And her alliance with Nathan grows stronger. Elizabeth starts to question everything she's been taught. Okay, so this looks good. I don't know if there's going to be a romance inside this book, but I'm going to give it a try. Let's see. Nobody on the back. Yeah, I don't know any of the people who are blurbing it on the back. So hopefully it's a good book. I'm buddy reading it basically. I mean, it's a book club, but it's a buddy read. We're reading a couple chapters each week. I'm probably gonna move this up in my list to read, because I will probably want to be mostly done with the book. I'll write like what I think about each chapter instead of reading this many chapters and then waiting, and then I don't like doing that. So I will probably read it all. I might read it first, just to get it out of the way for the book club so I'm not behind. The next book that I have on my TBR is Gemini. I picked up illuminae. Am I saying that right? Yeah. For a moment I wanted to say Illumicrate. Wrong thing, that's a subscription box. But illuminae, I picked it up at a second in Charles, which is kind of like Hastings, but not at the same time. I like tastings better, to be honest. Anyway, I picked it up. It was only, I think, $8, and I was like looking at the book, and I was like, because it's just this huge too, and I was like, this book for $8? Oh my gosh. And then I picked this one up at Half Price Books for like, I think $8 or $9 too, but I didn't realize it when I picked it up. It does have some damage to the book, but I'm okay with that. It kind of looks like it might have gotten some water damage, or just, I'm not sure if the pages are supposed to be yellow, but I can kind of see a little bit of a stain up on top. I mean, I'm okay with that as long as it's readable. I'm not like a snob and want my books to be if you want your books to be perfect, that is fine. It's your money. Me personally, I'd rather get a good deal on a book and it be readable. Now, I mean, if it was like really bad, I probably would have noticed it, but since I didn't even notice it when I picked it up, I think it's fine. Especially for this chunking book for like $8 or $9. That's what surprised me. I know there's not like a lot of words inside of it. Like there's some pages that have just pictures and stuff, but this still, I mean, $8 for this big of a book. That's what I was thinking when I picked up some of Sarah J. Maas's bigger books. I was like, only $12? What the heck? Brand new too. I was like, what the heck? Anyway, I really like this. I didn't realize that the second book was not a continuation, so I was a little disappointed when I started. I did read a couple of, or probably a good 25 pages into the, actually a good 100 pages into the book, before I put it down, because I was like, no, I need to read these other ones. And this is a real easy book to pick up, put down, pick up, put down. So I think the third one just came out, or is coming out. I'm really bad on release dates, guys. You will never get a video of me telling you when things are being released, because I don't know how you find that stuff. I don't know how you keep up with it. Nothing like that. So, I know that the second or the third one is coming out, or already came out just recently. So hopefully it's Odesson. I think I'm saying that right. So I'm going to pick that up, because I know I'm going to like this. And I think that one is where it ties both of these, all four of these people together. The only thing I'm worried about is I've kind of read a little bit of the synopsis. I watched a video, not a spoiler video, but kind of watched a video on it. And it almost kind of sounds like the same story as the first one, just different people, which I don't like. That's very fan fiction-y. It's basically a few things change, it's different characters. But I haven't gotten far enough into the book to say that yet. I'm hoping it's not. I will probably still pick up the third book if it has a continuation of the first characters in it, because I want to know what happened. And then I've got my December Owl Crate box book. It's the Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White. When I first got this, and I'm sad I just got my Owl Crate box for this month too, and they're not sprayed edges. I, in my head, just thought, oh, all the books from Owl Crate are going to be sprayed edges, because my first book was Winterwood by them, and it had spray edges. And then I got this, I was like, oh, it's not sprayed edges, maybe it's just this book, and then I got the next one, I was like, it's not sprayed edges. I have never had a sprayed edge book until I got Winterwood, and I fell in love with it. I bought Frankly in Love with the sprayed edges, and I did end up selling that book because I liked it, but I didn't like it enough to keep it. So this one is a King Arthur retelling, but with a twist. It's more about Guinevere. Yeah, Guinevere. And she's the one protecting the kingdom in this book. So really like the cover. What I don't like is that I feel this book sleeve might be just a slightly too big for this book, and so like it slips off real easily, and I don't like that about book covers. I want it to fit a little bit more snug. The Naked book, the Naked book though, I really do like the Naked cover. I like whatever this is going on. I bet we'll figure it out once I start reading the book. But yeah, see, I don't like the way this one fits. I don't like the feel of the book cover. I don't know why. This one just feels weird. The texture just doesn't. I mean, I think it's a normal texture. I don't buy enough hard books, honestly. And most of my hard books have cool covers. Anyway, then the next one I am picking up has also another sticker on it. Like I said, I am not good, but these are the half price stickers. They come off real nice. This is Renegades. It is by Marissa Meyer, the same person who does the Lunar Chronicles. So hopefully I end up liking her writing. But from what I understand is this one is kind of sci-fi. Let's see. The Renegades are a syndicate of prodigies, humans with extraordinary abilities. And they come from a crumbled society, and they try to do peace, except the villains they once overthrew. Nora has a reason to hate the Renegades, and she's on a mission for vengeance, so she sounds like she is with the villains. But she meets a renegade boy who believes in justice, so this might just be like a sci-fi dystopian love story. Not sure. Gonna find out. I think Cinder might be too. Most likely it probably is. Which I am okay with. I haven't read much of the sci-fi dystopian love stories in a while. I've been just reading sci-fi. And so, I'll probably like get back into this. I've noticed that YA sci-fi has a love story attached to it where adult sci-fi doesn't. And I don't know if that's just because I've noticed when I'm shopping in the sci-fi section of half-price books, Barnes & Noble, Second & Charles, it's guys that are surrounding me. And not saying guys can't read love stories, they're just not as into love stories as girls are, that I have noticed. And so I don't know if that's why more sci-fi love stories happen in YA, because girls pick it up more. I wish girls and women would pick up sci-fi more. It's amazing, and talk about it more. You'll probably hear more about sci-fi on my channel. I love sci-fi and fantasy. Those are my two favorite genres. I do read a contemporary here and there. I do read my Harlequin love stories. If you call them love stories, if you know what I mean. I do read some of those. But I'm typically a sci-fi fanatic. I just am about to finish the Old Man War series by John Scalza. I am going to take a break from him because I started noticing I'm on the last book of his, and just, I don't know, I'm not liking it as much, and I think that's just because I've overloaded myself with all 6 books in the series. The next thing that's on my reading list, I've already read one of the books in here, but this is the Hogwarts Library. I got it on sale at Target. I was really excited. I got it for about $20. Inside of it comes with a Fantastic Beast and Where to Find Them, the Tales of Beetle and Bard, and Quidditch Throughout the Ages. I just love the cover, and you guys can really see it. My ring light is really spotlighting it. I did read the Tales of Beetle and Bard. This one I've wanted to read ever since I knew that there were bedtime stories for wizards, and I read it through it. I loved it. The Deathly Hallow ones is just as good as it was. This also has Albus Dumbledore commentary with it, which I think is hilarious. So after each story, Albus Dumbledore, I should call him Dumbledore. It felt weird. Albus. Dumbledore, at the end of each chapter, he is commentating on like what the story's about, what changed with it, because a lot of these stories are pro-Muggle and wizard connection, I guess, or intermingling, and then when the big push to not have the intermix of Muggles and wizards happened, a couple of these stories actually were changed, apparently, and so that the kids wouldn't, want to befriend Muggles. And so he tells what changed in the story to go anti-Muggle, which I thought was really cool. But enough about that, because I'm not reading that, I already read it. So, the next one is The Quidditch Through the Ages. It does say down here by Kenilworthy Wisp. I don't know how to say her first name, but it's basically just gonna be a backstory about Quidditch, and I think yeah, this is the book that Harry reads, like, religiously. So I'm excited to read it. I probably won't read it as religiously as him. I love Quidditch. I think Quidditch is cool. I actually run the Quidditch at the program that my group does every year. So I'm Madame Pomfrey. No, not Madame Pomfrey. Oh my god, why did I forget her name? The Quidditch person in the book. I will know her name. But I basically am her. Madame Pomfrey is the nurse. Anyway, so maybe it'll help me each year, or to run the Quidditch better. And then Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Now, this one is the actual textbook, not the book. And I think it's the screenplay that is released. I have no intention of reading that or The Cursed Child. I don't like screenplays. I would rather spend my money and go watch The Cursed Child. I never did get to watch or see it live. I've seen like YouTube videos of it, but not like a full YouTube video, just snippets of it. And I do have an interest in going to see that, but I don't have an interest in reading it. Now, maybe I might see if Audible has it and listen to it, but I don't like screenplays in books, because it's just like Ron, blah blah blah, Harry, blah 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 blah, Hermione, blah 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 blah, and then the scene was like this, and I don't like that. I can't get into the book. So I'm not going to pay that much money to get it. I would rather buy things like this, or I'm going to start working on trying to get the illustrated copies. Those ones are not much for reading. Those are more just to have on my shelf. Just like I bought, is it easy accessible? I don't think it is. It's right here. Sorry guys, my bookshelf actually broke like 3 days ago. Crazy. I knew it was going to break. It was starting to fall. It was a cheap Walmart one that I put together, and I knew it was going to fall, but we might be moving soon, and I don't want to buy and build a new bookshelf and then have to move it. I do live on the 2nd floor. Don't want to carry things down the stairs. But I also bought this on that Target sale. I got it for $9, probably 10 with tax. But it's a Harry Potter Spellbook. I did read all through it. It does have like where the spells are, the charms, things like that, and where they are, and it includes movie, book, Lego game, other game, and the playing cards, which I didn't even know there were playing cards, guys. So that's really cool. It tells you where all the stuff is. It also tells you all about wands. So definitely get it if you want it. Now, I've noticed that this video is running long, so I think I am going to wrap this one up. I might come back and do a video on how I like some of these books. Just depends. I'm starting off my YouTube channel afresh and not sure exactly what I want to do yet. I'm just trying things out. So, thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Reading Aardvark. And if you like these TBRs, comment down below and let me know if you want to see more TBRs from me. I won't give a book. I know right now bookshelf tours are big, but as you can tell, my bookshelf is non-existent. So when we move and I get a new bookshelf, I will do a bookshelf tour of all my books, because I will be excited to put them all back on my bookshelf. And I have bookshelf. I got great plans for bookshelves, and I'm really excited about it. So keep on reading.